Welcome to another episode of Just Because Live. I'm Chris Nicolason, and today I am honored to be joined by Gretchen Pressley of the Humane Society. Gretchen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us. We are so excited to talk all things pets today.
We are super excited to have you guys on. I think just about everybody here at my office has pets, maybe except for Jeremy. I don't even think he's got a fish, but just about everybody else does.
Jeremy's the one to get to. All right.
Yes. He's kind of stubborn though, but we'll have to talk to his wife as well, who's an attorney. So we'll have to get to him. So Gretchen, I got really excited though when you came on because my partner Jake, his wife Amanda is a diehard pet lover, fan of you guys. Whenever I put the post up yesterday on our social, she got really excited. And so can you kind of just, before we even get into your story, talk about just like being around animals each day and kind of the feels you get from that for a minute?
This really is such a great place to work. We do so much good for the community, and I know everybody always thinks of adoption when they think of us, which is wonderful, and that's what we want them to think. But so much more goes into working here than I think people realize. So we have so many public services for the community. We do public space and neuters, public vaccinations. We make sure that everyone in the community has access to veterinary care. So we have a program called the Wellness Wagon, and that is a mobile veterinary clinic that travels around to all these veterinary deserts. So that would be a place in our community that doesn't have access to veterinary care. So we make sure everyone, even low-income families, everyone receives that medical care for their pets that they need. Of course, we have lost and found services. If you're missing your pet, you can always check our admissions and lost and found center. We'll get that pet back to you as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We have a trap noodle return program to cut down on cat overpopulation in the cities. Really, just so many wonderful things happening here every single day that benefits not only the homeless pets in our community that come into us, but really just pets all over the community. Because really our mission is that we're better together. We're better with our pets are better with us. We want to keep pets in their homes whenever possible.
Absolutely. Oh, that is awesome. I love it. So talk to us a little bit about how you got to the Humane Society and to do what you do.
So I started working here 8 years ago. I had just moved here from Florida. Actually, I did not care for Florida, so I came here to be with my family. And this job at the Humane Society opened up really within like a month of me moving here. And it's funny, when I was little, I've always loved animals. We've always had pets. I would always take those career aptitude things and I would say, I want to work with animals. And they would always say, oh, you have to be a farmer or a zookeeper. And I'm like, no, that doesn't sound good. So I have a background in journalism and public relations. And then this community relations position opened up. And I was like, this is it. This is the way I can work with animals while still doing what I love to do, which is communication and writing and speaking with people. So it's really been the perfect job for me. Of course, you know, it is challenging. It's a lot of work. It's nonprofit work, but, you know, we get puppy breaks, which are always a bonus. And just seeing all of those families that we help, the pets, the people, that's really what we do is we again, better together. We try and make sure that pets are better with their people and people are better with their pets. And those stories just get to you every single day. And it really makes what we do here worthwhile.
Oh, that is awesome. So can we talk for a minute too about, obviously the world's been in this state of flux for a while. And so how has COVID or the pandemic kind of affected you all over at the Humane Society?
So in March, of course, when everything kind of shut down there, it was pretty disappointing for us. We had to shut down a lot of different amazing programs that we do that I just talked about. We had to suspend all of our public services, which, you know, obviously broke our hearts to not be able to provide that medical care for pets. We had to make our adoptions by appointment only. We were staying open, of course, to make sure people could still bring us animals, but we had to do those appointments by people bring them in by appointment only instead. So actually a lot of good came from it because now we have a little bit more organization in helping people with appointments. We're hoping that we can, you know, continue for the years to come. But we had to stop all of our transfers. We take in lots of pets from other agencies that maybe don't have the resources that we do to get them medical care or get them adopted out. So we had to stop all of that. So it was really kind of sad for our staff to be seeing so many of the wonderful programs that we do on a daily basis stop.
Right.
But in April and May, we really started gearing back up on those programs. And I am so excited that things are almost back to normal now.
Yep.
Our wellness wagon is out in the community delivering veterinary services. We are back to first come, first serve adoptions. We are still limiting the number of adopters in the building at a time. So if you come and there are a lot of people, you just might have to wait just a minute or two until we can make it safe for you to come in. But otherwise, we are full steam ahead on adoptions. We are transferring again. So it's really great to see the community really come together and continue to adopt and help us get these guys into wonderful new homes.
Perfect. And I just posted a link to the adoption page for you guys in the comments. And I wanted to talk a minute too, what I was noticing as I was scrolling through the adoptions is the idea of foster. So some of them are just listed regularly. And then the other ones, there are some listed either as like foster. And so can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So we have a really wonderful foster care program. And I have to thank the community for just a second. When we did go into lockdown, we had over 100 new foster applications for people that knew they were going into lockdown. We're like, I want to help while I'm being locked down here. So wonderful to see so many new faces in our foster care program. But our foster program really has a lot of different facets to it. Of course, what we use it most for are underage kittens and puppies. So if we have litters that come in, we have orphan kittens come in, they need a lot of care, like round the clock care, which we cannot provide here at our facility. So we have a very dedicated group of fosters that are able to take those babies into their homes. We can bottle feed baby kittens, which is very overwhelming if you've never done it before. But they have a lot of expertise in doing that, and they can really save so many lives that way. And so we send those through foster care. They get lots of love in those foster homes. They get to grow up a little bit. And then once they're big enough to be spayed and neutered at our facility, so that is 2 pounds or 2 months old, whichever comes later. So with kittens, they're usually about 3 months old. With those bigger puppies, they'll be about 7 pounds, but they'll be 2 months old. And they can go up for adoption. But what you'll see on our website is if it says foster, means that animal isn't quite ready for adoption yet, but we're allowing choice holds for that animal. Okay. So especially over this last couple of months, people have really been wanting to adopt. It's actually a great time to adopt. More people are staying at home. And so new pets can really get used to the whole family. Really a great time to adopt. And we've really seen people who also think it's a great time to adopt. Right. So it's been very, very popular to adopt. But we've made a lot of animals ready as soon as, or I guess available on our website so people can see them, and then they can put that choice hold on them, and then they'll be first in line to adopt once that pet is ready for adoption. So it really helps us get those pets into new homes as soon as possible. They don't even have to come back here for more than a couple hours, really. They get picked up by their new families, and they're out of here into their wonderful new homes.
Oh, that's great. And then, as you guys are kind of going through this, have there been any, you talked about how they were by appointment only now. Is it one where you can see multiple animals during your appointment?
So we did go for appointment only adoptions for a little while, and you could see multiple animals. We are back to first come, first serve adoptions. We are still doing owner surrenders or to bring in a stray animal by appointment only. Obviously, if you just show up, we'll take it. We'll get that animal where it needs to go. Yeah. But it's really been a lot more efficient for everyone to make that appointment. We can make sure you're in and out in no time, get you back out in the community, and really just not take up a lot of your time, especially if you found an animal and just want to get him to a place of safety really fast. So we're hoping that trend will continue. But yeah, if you're interested in adopting, you can just stop on by. I would recommend checking out our website. The pets do go very quickly. So yeah. If you come, if you look in the morning, I would recommend being there right at 11 a.m. to see the pet that you're interested in seeing. You're allowed to visit with 2 different animals. So maybe you came wanting to see one dog, but wasn't really a great fit, but you saw another one over there. You're like, I want to take a look at him. You're welcome to do that. And hopefully we will be able to get some information about you and then set you up with the pet that will work very well for your household.
Oh, that's awesome. And I have to say that we were talking about this beforehand, that we in my house are fans of the Humane Society. Our Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix, Charlie, is actually from the Humane Society. And the way we got him was actually by looking at the website and checking out pictures. But at that time, Charlie's name was Titus. Mm-hmm. And so Gretchen, my wife, and I, we had working at 2 different jobs, and we're both like, it's like 4 o'clock, and we're like, we got to rush down there right now, to get this dog. And then it just so happened that Charlie had been picked up, or Titus had been picked up and adopted out.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple days later, though, we see this new dog on, I think it was Pet of the Week on TV, who looked just like Charlie or Titus, and found that he had been returned from his prior owner. His new name was now Buffy, and we're like, man, they look the exact same. And I was going back and trying to find pictures, and it's like, holy cow, that's the same dog. So again, we rush down as fast as we can and end up with a meeting and end up adopting Charlie out, renamed him Charlie. But yeah, it just is, it's one of the better decisions that we've ever made, is by having that. We call him an old man now. I mean, he's probably, we think he's about 13 or 14, but he's just been great. And so, yeah, it was quite an experience to go through the whole thing. And we did the same thing where we looked at some others, but then found one that was really the right fit, which was really helpful. And so,
such a wonderful story. He got such a good home with you guys.
Yeah.
Really, we hear that a lot, where we've had cases where a dog just wasn't getting adopted for whatever reason. They were a great dog, but it turns out somebody was out of town and was watching him on the website, and came back into town just in time to come and get him. So it was really funny how some of them just seem to be waiting for the right people.
Yes.
Or in your case, he came back to you.
Right, right. Absolutely. And then, so do you find a certain time of year, like with holidays coming up, do you find that there's, where the influx of adoptions is actually much higher than, other times of the year?
So I do see a lot of people that want to adopt around holidays, or in the case of, lockdowns, people seem to really want to adopt. But our population changes dramatically during the year as well. So we really see a higher population during the spring and summer months. And there are a lot of factors that have to do with that. It has to do with a lot of people move during the summertime, can't take their pets, they bring them to us. Of course, it's nice outside, so all the strays are out and about. People see them, bring them into us. Also, kittens and puppies, of course, are born in the spring and summer. And so that really makes our population just skyrocket. So we do see, numerically more adoptions during the summer months. But yes, the holidays, even though our population tends to be a little decreased, we see a huge amount of adoptions during the holidays towards the end of the year. Normally we'll have some different specials or sales going on during that time. And I think a couple of years in a row, we were actually able to adopt out all of our available dogs, which is always really cool to see. That also happened the beginning of lockdown. We adopted out all dogs, cats at both of our shelter locations. So it's always great getting those pictures of staff in the kennels. Nobody's available. So always really happy for our staff when we see those pictures.
Oh, that is awesome. And then, so you guys have some great stuff coming back. How you were talking about now, things are starting to come back, back around with events and things like that. You guys have a great event coming up here on October 26th to 30th that I want you to talk about, called, and I don't want to butcher it, but Pawtober Fest.
Pawtober Fest, that's
Perfect.
right. So,
can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So if you've been in the community for a while, you might have heard of our annual event, Pawtober Fest. It normally happens in September. Normally, it's a big, wonderful brew fest where everyone gets together. It's a dog walk. You can drink beer from all of our different beer vendors and some wine and spirits. And it's just a great day full of dogs and people and fun. Obviously, not going to happen this year quite like that. But instead, since we can't see everyone muzzle to muzzle this year, we decided to have a week-long event on our Facebook page. And we're really trying to still make it a really fun, community time for everyone, where you can see fun things happening with animals and then donate, of course, back towards the homeless pets in our community. So Pawtoberfest this year, again, will run from Monday the 26th through Friday the 30th. And every single day at noon on our Facebook page, we will have a different fun event happening. So Monday, we are going to put a local celebrity in one of our luxury dog kennels, and people can donate to give her treats, give her enrichment, see her in a cone of shame at one point, and then eventually to get her out of the kennel. Tuesday, we'll have another local celebrity emceeing, just giving treats and toys to puppies for every donation. Wednesday, you can donate to see one of our HSPPR employees get a pie to the face. So that'll be really fun for everyone. Of course, we'll have some dogs eating pie throughout as well. So at Pawtoberfest, we always have a costume contest for dogs. And so we wanted to continue that tradition as well. So going up on our Facebook page tonight, we are going to have a submission post so you can donate and submit your pet's picture to be in our costume contest. And we'll be judging that next Thursday on our Facebook page. You can win one of our amazing prize packages. It's always a super popular event. And then next Friday will be another annual Pawtoberfest tradition, the dog walks. You can tune in. You can see some of our HSPR dogs walking around our dog park. You can join us and take a walk on your own, or just sit back and drink a beer and watch us do all the walking. But we're hoping to raise about $1,000 a day. And then we have a matching grant as well. So we're hoping to get about 10,000 through all of these events next week. So we're really hoping to, again, get the community involved, make it a fun event for everyone. And just really supply a good time to see everything that we do, see all of our programs, and then give back to the homeless pets in our community.
Oh, that is great. Yeah, and I just posted all of the events as well happening in the comments as well. And I want to talk about that goal. So this isn't just solely for just the events itself, but it's also, as a nonprofit, a way to get funding and raise money. And so currently what I'm seeing right now is you guys have a goal of about $75,000. You're at about a little over 73,000, but I'm going to guess that even if you hit that 75, you don't just want to stop and you're going to turn it all up right there. Is that right?
That's right. So we have two major events that we have every year, and those are Furball and Pawtoberfest. And so we had a virtual Furball earlier in the year. Now we're going to have our virtual Pawtoberfest, but really these funds are so critical. They help us year round to keep our programs running. Again, we talked about at the beginning, it's not just adoptions, it's the medical care for so many pets that come into our building. It's funding that foster care program, that TNR program, the wellness wagon, supplying low-cost veterinary services to people in the community. So all that just takes so much money to get all these pets ready for adoption, find them those new homes. Again, put that work into keeping them into wonderful new homes. So these two events are really critical to our success and being able to continue those programs. So we couldn't just say, well, we can't have the events. No, we really needed to continue having them and find a way to still engage people, help people see all the programs we're doing, and still give them a way to have fun while helping us raise some money for the homeless pets. So we're really hoping, again, our funds are a little bit down this year because of the services that we couldn't have, and then the loss of our two events. We've been able to raise a little bit, but we're really just hoping everyone can come together. Our goal was 75, and so with a bunch of those sponsors, and then people are doing some peer-to-peer fundraising for us, which is amazing. We're really close to our goal, but we're still hoping to make that goal of 10,000 in just the events next week.
Oh,
as well.
Great. Perfect. Good. So if everybody's hearing this too, let's go ahead and get out there and donate and help out our local Humane Society too. And so, Gretchen, then obviously there's a giant team of people then that go, animals, sometimes they like to listen, other times, they can be a little stubborn and just kind of do their own thing. So can you talk about the team that you have around you and how everybody works together? It's one thing we talk about here a lot is the importance of team and culture and things like that. So can you talk about that in the realm of working with pets?
Absolutely. It's so funny. I'm in communications, but I'm one of those awkward people who's always loved animals way more than people. And so I've never been around so many people just like me. We all love animals so much. We have staff back there that are cleaning kennels while they're singing to the pets, they're dancing for them, they're slipping them extra treats. Our staff just works so very hard to make this experience good for them. We know that being in a shelter is stressful for pets. We have some come in that are very shut down and very fearful, and we have behavior programs that we have to try and bring them out of their shell, help them get a little bit more confidence and trust in people before we put them up for adoption. And everyone just works so hard for the benefit of these pets. Again, you'll see staff walking through the shelter, talking to their favorite pets. You'll see them taking pictures and sending them to me. I'm like, please showcase this pet. I really love this pet. And then again, we all go home and we think about our favorites, and we're like, I hope they get adopted tomorrow. So it's just really wonderful working with a team that loves animals as much as I do. And I'm not the weird one who likes animals more than people anymore. Now we all love animals more than people. So
that's so great. I love it.
Yeah, it really does take a village. And so it's not just my team here at the shelter, even though, of course, they do amazing work. And together we help save lives, but really it's the whole community, because the shelter reflects the community. So without the community support, without the community adopting, without the community donating, without the community working to keep pets in their homes, just like we do, we couldn't do what we do here at the Humane Society. So we just really want to say thank you to our communities of Colorado Springs and Pueblo for being responsible pet owners, for loving dogs as much as we do, for helping keep them in homes, keep them happy, keep them fed, and then just make our job a lot easier by adopting and donating and making sure we can continue to save lives.
Oh, that's excellent. Very good. I love it. And I feel, after talking to a lot of people in the community at different nonprofits, you have something too that's been kind of a thread going through each of these people, is just this passion that exudes. You can just feel it when you talk about it, and you can feel it just like coming out. And so I think that passion that you have, if you have, staff that's, singing to the pets, I mean, that's just contagious. And it can't, you can't help but smile then whenever you're working with people like that.
Exactly. It's a lot of fun. And, I get pictures from staff. They're on a break and they're just sitting in dog kennels, like, and eating their lunch and sharing their lunch with dogs. And so it's a really fun place to work. And if you haven't been to see us in a while, or, you remember us from 20 years ago and your grandfather talked about us or whatever, I would really encourage you to come back. We've done so many new renovations and changes, and even this is a completely different place from when I started here 8 years ago. We're saving so many more lives. We have so many more amazing programs going on. So just come and take a look, and come just as you walk in the front door of our adoption lobby, and we've got a beautiful cat adoption center right there. We can see all the kitties. They've got lots of vertical space and things to play on, so they can really showcase those personalities, and you can see what they would look like in your home. So we do everything we can to match you with the best personality so that those adoptions are successful.
Absolutely. And so I know in the past when my daughters were in school here, they had always looked into like volunteering at the Humane Society. Is that actually still something going on today, or as an opportunity for youth, or even anybody that's maybe wanting, like you were talking about when you were younger, like the idea that, hey, I love pets, not really sure where I would fit, or animals, not sure where I would fit, but a good way to do it would be volunteering. Is that still a possibility?
Absolutely. We love our volunteers. We have over 1,000 volunteers that come in and work with us throughout the year. Not all of them are active, and fortunately, COVID took a toll on that as well. We did have to suspend all our volunteer services for a little while, but most of our volunteers are back and in the building. I don't think we've started up new volunteer orientations yet. So if you're interested in volunteering, just stay tuned. We're hoping to get that geared up again next year as soon as it's safe to have more people in the building, and we work out the logistics of those orientation nights to keep everybody safe. But really our volunteers, I said about the community, but we can't do it without them either. We have volunteers that help us with matchmaking, so making those adoption matches. We have volunteers that help us in admissions, help reunite those the families with their missing pets. I think we've opened up a couple of new positions to help more, remotely and volunteer to help search lost and found pet sites and data entry and things like that people can do from the safety of their houses. We have volunteers that transport animals off site and to veterinary clinics and everything like that. We have volunteers that help out in our surgery center, clean kennels, do laundry, cleaning.
Yeah.
Always cleaning everything. But again, we really just couldn't do it without our volunteers. They are so wonderful. They help us with events. They help us with walking dogs, everything that we could do, but we don't have the time to do every day. They do it for us, and it's wonderful to see. So if you're interested in volunteering, and if you are a youth interested in volunteering, you are welcome to volunteer with an adult volunteer partner until the age of 18, I believe.
Okay.
So check us out. And if we aren't doing it right now, I haven't checked in a couple of days, but we are not accepting new volunteers right now. Just stay tuned. We're hoping to get that up and running again very soon.
Perfect. And then, so you've been around now, the Humane Society, for about 8 years. And I just, within your years now, do you have any stories that stick out to you of adoption? Any pets where you're just kind of like, either something funny or something sentimental, but things that you kind of just fall back on and go, I remember this dog and just knew that dog was going to be the right fit, or this cat, or what have you?
I definitely have so many stories, and it was really funny. We were looking through a bunch of pictures, me and another employee the other day, and she's like, how do you remember all these pets? And I don't remember all of them. We take in 25,000 pets every year. So I do not know whatever 25,000 times 8 is. But that being said, there are some that really still stick out. And so I know when I first started, there was a bonded pair of dogs. One of them was a little terrier and one of them was a beagle, and they were named Buddy and Sammy. And they were older, and we just love those guys. Like, they were always in a staff member's office. They were always had somebody with them because they were just the most delightful old boys in the entire world. They did get adopted, but we have this picture of them together that one of our volunteer photographers took, and we still use it on some of our marketing material because it was just the perfect picture of dogs that love each other and that want to cuddle up. And so we were so glad to see them get into a wonderful new home. And I still think about them sometimes. That was 8 years ago.
Wow.
One story that I was just reminded of the other day was, so obviously I do all of our social media for the Humane Society. And we have such a great response on Facebook whenever we post a pet that really needs a home. They get adopted so fast here. Sometimes I don't even have time to post them. But for the ones that are hanging out with us a little bit, maybe have a couple medical or behavior issues, they need a really special home, we like to put them on Facebook, let the community help us in finding that perfect home. And one a couple years ago that just wasn't getting noticed for whatever reason was a really fantastic dog named Harley, and he could do all these different commands. And so sorry, my phone.
Oh, you're fine.
He could do all these different commands. He could sit, he could lie down, he could shake. And so our volunteers staged a photo shoot where they took all of these pictures of Harley. And I'm just going and we put that on Facebook, and within a day, someone had seen those pictures and couldn't get Harley out of her mind, came up and adopted him, and they still send me updates on how well Harley is doing. They give him a birthday party. They just sent me some pictures of. So it's really wonderful when you're exactly what you do. So I put that on Facebook, and that directly resulted in Harley finding that amazing new home. So it's really heartwarming to see. And, of course, all the pets I've adopted stick with me as well.
Oh my God.
I tend to adopt the old hard luck cat cases. So I have a lot of old cats in my house.
Interesting. So how many pets do you have currently?
So we have 3 cats and 1 dog and 1 hamster right now. We lost one of our old cats in April, and we just gained the dog in July.
Okay, so then for somebody that's a fan of cats, my youngest daughter, who's out in law school right now in Louisville, they have a cat cafe out there, and cool. She just went and adopted a little kitten. So any advice for a new kitten owner that is, she's 22 and hasn't had her own pet before?
I would say to any new pet owner, it's going to be harder than you think, but it's going to be way better than you think.
Yep.
So every single new pet owner goes through that one period of time where it's like, I've made a huge mistake because I can't handle this. But you do, and it fades. And especially with new puppies, new dogs, new kittens, it is a life adjustment. And so give them some time. Let them get used to your new household, give them that love, and really just set them up for success. And that's really what we try to do here at the Humane Society. We send you home with the voucher for a veterinarian exam, vaccinations, microchips, spay and neuter, just to give you that set of things you need to give your pet everything that they need going forward in their new life. And so you're going to have your cat climbing the curtains or your dog eating your favorite stuffed animal, but the love that they bring you is so much, it's worth everything that you're going to go through. And you're just going to learn how to love each other together and provide that companionship that you were missing before.
Absolutely. That's very well said. Well, Gretchen, we're running up close to 30 minutes here, so I want to respect your time. And then the way I like to close out is I'm going to ask you 2 questions here. And so can you tell everybody what your favorite place in all of Colorado is?
I'm going to say Breckenridge. I was just there, and it was so lovely in the fall. There were so many of the beautiful colors. And so, yeah, anywhere near Breckenridge. I also go camping up there quite a bit. So anywhere up in that region is just magical.
I completely agree with you. I was actually just there last weekend, so absolutely agree. And then I think you absolutely love what you do. and it shows. But if you were not doing this today, what would your dream job be?
If I could not work in animal welfare anymore, I think I would really like to do something to do with tourism and traveling. I've always really loved traveling. So even we were in Breckenridge and we did a ghost tour. So I would love to be the one to research all the spooky stories and old history in a place, and giving ghost tours or historical tours or anything to do with just fun tourism, learning about a place and helping people love it as much as I do.
Oh, that is awesome. Very cool. That's really neat. So then go ahead too and tell people how they can find you and find, in the Humane Society. We got it in the links, but if you can say it as well.
So we are all over the place. We are at hsppr.org. That Pawtoberfest website, which you can also find from hsppr.org, is Pawtoberfest, Pawtoberfest.org. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter. But if you find us on Facebook, again, we'll be doing all of those live events next week. So find us on Facebook this week. Get ready to have some fun with us. And we can't wait to see you all live on Facebook next week.
Perfect. And we will absolutely be checking it out. And we appreciate you coming on today. Gretchen, thank you so much for your time. And we will check everybody out next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Bye now.